Hey, I'll see you on tour in Las Vegas, Chicago, and Grand Rapids. In Chicago, it's stand-up and a live panel show. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to jimmydore.com. I'm here with the fellows from Due Dissonance, and I just want to I want to start off by showing this. So the guy who did it was a guy named Thomas Matthew Crooks. He was ID'd as the guy who shot Donald Trump.
I heard it was a guy named Patsy McPatsy. No.
Crooks, he was 20 years old, from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, which was about 40 miles south of the Butler rally. He used an AR-15 that was recovered at the scene, and he was apparently shot in the head after he tried taking out the former president. And here he is. That's him when he was in, I guess, high school. So Simon Ateba tweets out, he says, does it change anything that the 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, who attempted to assassinate Donald Trump yesterday, was a registered Republican? He was not a pro-Palestinian terrorist, as some claim, nor an immigrant animal, nor an unqualified black DEI advocate, as often posted. There are types of people who promote it on social media, the ones who prefer to follow rather than moderate. So what do you make of it? That's this. So do you think this is one of those Governor Whitmer situations where they find a mental defective who wouldn't do something he normally would, and somebody encourages him to do this?
It seems to me. Sorry, Russell, go ahead.
Right now there are not enough details in to say where the shooter is coming from, but it seems to me, at the very least, based on some of the witness accounts, that they stood down. There's just no way that you could be that visible to so many witnesses with a rifle by the president without people who are supposed to be protecting the president letting it happen.
So
whoever this guy is. Yeah.
So no, we're definitely going to get to that, because I have footage of the people saying that they were telling the cops. So I'm going to show that. But so we shouldn't speculate that if he was a guy. To me, it seems like if he's a 20-year-old registered Republican, what is that about? Is that just because his parents were Republicans and he registered as a Republican? You know what I mean? Like, does it make any sense to either of you?
I mean, that would be my guess. I mean, dating back to the days when I first figured out that 9/11 was most likely an inside job, there were a few different competing theories as to how exactly it happened. And the one I most subscribe to is what they call the LIHOP theory, let it happen on purpose, LIHOP.
Right.
There are a lot of plots that exist. Some are created by the FBI. In the instance of the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot, the Newburgh 4 terrorist plot, those guys were from my hometown. They were set up by the FBI. And then some are organic. Most of them get foiled. Some don't. And the theory on 9/11 that I find most plausible is that there was word of a plot to attack the Twin Towers using airplanes, and that the government figured they could use it to their advantage, so they stood down. They let it happen on purpose. And if I had to guess, that would be the one I would subscribe to here. Again, the information is just too new to speculate too much, but my read on it, the more I learn about this shooter, is that, yeah, this is one of those instances of a disturbed, lonely young man who snapped, and nobody did anything to intervene. And I guess we're going to get into the mechanics of how this unfolded in a few minutes, so I won't step on that. But that would be my suspicion going in.
So here's,
you know what? I just want to interject really quickly that Candace Owens reported that he didn't vote in the last election, but he did donate to ActBlue to Democrats.
Right.
So he's a Democratic donor, even though he was, according to Simon Ateba, he was a registered Republican. Right. Go ahead, Russ.
The only qualification I'll throw in is the guy is a classic patsy. You know, they will get these guys who, if anyone looks into their history, they go, oh, well, that guy was mental. So, even mafia killings. Joe Colombo was shot by a black guy who liked Hitler, who it's very obvious was put up to it, and then they shot him at the scene.
Right.
Like that's the kind of person that you want, because who's gonna look beyond the person as long as they have that profile. So one doesn't preclude the other.
So I want to show you this. Kurt Metzger just got this to me. He says, why don't you have an MK Ultra mind slave option? 90%, that's what this is. So look at this. Thomas Matthew Crooks, the 20-year-old shooter that attempted to assassinate President Donald Trump at a rally in Pennsylvania, featured in a BlackRock ad in 2023.
What?
Yeah, I saw
What?
that as well.
You want to see this? Here we go.
There it is.
My name is Brian DeLallo. I teach AP and honors economics in Pittsburgh,
There he is.
Pennsylvania.
There he was.
Financial well-being to me is
Wow.
knowing that I can be free to do the things that I love to do.
BlackRock manages retirement plans
I
assets.
hope when I retire someday, they say that guy made this place a special place to come to school and
There he
did
is.
as much as he could to help the community.
So when we kicked off this stream, I said this looks like they find a mental defective. They encourage him to do something he normally wouldn't do. Just like with this is the FBI. This is like their MO. They've been doing this at least since 9/11, way before. But MK Ultra, as we know, started in the 50s, and so that's what Kurt's referring to there. So that kid is literally in a BlackRock video.
Wow.
There he is. That's the screenshot from the video. That's him.
It's true. I mean, the FBI does create these kinds of people as a matter of routine.
So what they did with what was it? The Whitmer plot?
The Whitmer plot and the Newburgh Four, which I mentioned.
The Newburgh Four, of course. Yes,
Yep.
people. Of course, that doesn't get the press it should. Of course, it doesn't.
No.
Just like Building
One of the
7.
guys just got out of jail. We're going to interview him soon.
Just like Building 7 doesn't get the press it should. and let me just show you. Here's that video. Malcolm got this for me. Let's watch this.
But he's taking these shots, this antagonism, this taunting to the intelligence community.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know.
Maybe launch a conspiracy theory that says he's a traitor to our country. Maybe not allow him to run his own foreign policy. Maybe try to impeach him twice, have 4 different bullshit indictments against him, and then maybe get a mentally defective to try to assassinate him. I don't know what they would do. He says he doesn't know.
But from what I am told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about them.
And so what Chuck Schumer just revealed there, and I've said this before, is that he gave the game away, that the president doesn't actually control the CIA or the FBI or the NSA or his own foreign policy, that they control him. There's a blob. There's a deep state that actually controls the president, and the president works for them. And if he doesn't, they're going to JFK him. That's what Chuck Schumer just told the public. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's always funny when every now and then they forget that they live in a bubble where ideas like that are not questioned. But if you say it in public, you're giving away things about how this all works that you really shouldn't be imparting to the public. Every now and then they forget to lie. And it's very revealing. You just had that Congressman Miller this week openly saying, we didn't believe that Biden was the only person who could beat Donald Trump. We believed he was the only person who could beat Bernie Sanders. So the same elites that want Biden out now, he can't really complain because they're the ones who installed him then. Every now and then they just tell the truth because they're surrounded by people where this would just be normal conversation. And they get picked up on a hot mic once in a while saying something like that. That's what happened with Schumer there. He forgot that the cameras were on. And, the American public is not going to find that as amusing as him and his rich donors do.
And just so you know, to put a button on our point about the Secret Service and this being at least allowed to happen. Up until 2003, the Secret Service was part of the U.S. Treasury Service. Did you know that?
No.
And then after 2003, it became part of Homeland Security. So it's under Homeland Security since 2004. And the FBI does have a foothold with the Secret Service. So here's the breakdown on that. And we all know that the FBI and the Department of Justice have gone after Trump. So they're all under the, so the Secret Service are a part of the same organization, and they've been going after Trump since he was, since he became president. Hey, I'll see you on tour in Las Vegas, Chicago, and Grand Rapids. In Chicago, it's stand-up and a live panel show. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to jimmydore.com.